Thank you. We're in progress. Thank you. Thanks for being here. As we just were talking about, campus is once again starting to buzz. We welcome back some grad students. Some of our MBA students are starting this week, so it's been really exciting to have that energy back in the building, and we're needing to tidy up our offices and get everything crossed off. As you're saying, the private interns, we're welcoming them all back. So wonderful to have you all here today. As I shared, the session is recorded today, and post-meeting, we will send out a link with additional information. I am Christina Reitler. I'm the Associate Director of Employer Relations here at the Palmer Center. And it's been so wonderful to connect with many of you over the summer as we prepare our schedules for fall. So thank you for making time to do that. And as people are dialing in, there's many from the Palmer team on the call. I'm sure our director Marla is out there. On the employer relations team, of course, Penny, Taylor Llewellyn, and Taylor Bates, and then a few other Palmer team members, as well as some of our Broad colleagues that we'll introduce later today. And a few of our career services network partners have joined us. So thank you all for being here today. Over this next hour, excited to learn from one of you and how we could use our resources better together to improve our student experience. Of course, you know, I'd like to kick off these meetings with a fun poll. And what better poll to have than fall time? So summer was amazing. I know I took some long weekends and enjoyed the sun, but I am ready for fall. I myself am a lazy Sunday girl. So what's everyone else looking forward to? I know we have some avid Halloween people in our office. I think my husband's most looking forward to football, of course.
I'll give it another couple seconds, Christina, and then I'll
All
share
right.
the results.
All right. Awesome. Welcome those that are joining. Hello. Hi, Brooke. Hi, Jake. Okay, the results are in and we are tailgating football bunch. Okay. Hopefully MSU football bunch will take any team, but oh, that's exciting. Thanks for playing along. So our agenda for the day, we will kick off the meeting with some fall engagement tips and some recruiting opportunities. And then we'll have time to learn from various Broad department directors on how you can best engage with their students. We will wrap up with some polls and some Q&A. We'll also be putting information in the chat. Feel free to put any questions in the chat. Taylor will be monitoring that.
Hello.
Oh, did someone say something? No, we're good. Okay. So as some of you are new to the call, just wanted to give a quick reminder of our wonderful employer relations team. Once again, excited to collaborate with you this fall. And as you know, our team is here strategically position your opportunities and connections in front of our business students. And as I introduced earlier, we have our director, Marla McGraw. Hi, Marla.
She was having some technical difficulties, so she may not be in quite yet.
Tech difficulties. Well, we are grateful for her. Oh, I think I heard a hello.
Hi, I'm finally in the Zoom. Thank you. Good to see everyone.
Thanks for being here. And then leading the meeting today and all of our career fairs, we have Taylor Bates, our events manager. Hi, Taylor.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here today.
And then Taylor Llewellyn, one of our two recruiting managers. You can see we have their industries listed under their photos. And of course, Taylor provides strategic recruiting calls and on-site support to you. And she also creatively manages our social media accounts and also our Sunday newsletter. So there might be some opportunities for you to engage through those platforms. And then of course, we have Penny Vandekar. Hi, Penny. She is another one of our recruiting managers. And she has been with our team for a very wonderful long time. So if you ever have any questions, and even with the MBA student space, she is a wonderful resource. So to be sure to connect with her. So on this next slide here, I wanted to take time to highlight some data from a survey that we did this spring with our students. We surveyed all populations, undergraduate and graduate students, with the intent of improving our employer connections while supporting their aspirations. For undergraduate students, most of the feedback we received from our finance, marketing, and supply chain students. And those students will be seniors this fall. So with that feedback, you're looking at the population wanting to get those full-time jobs for next year. And then with our MBA students, their feedback mostly came from our supply chain and finance focused students. So over these next two slides, we can go over that data. So with these questions, how the answers ranked was from most important to not least important, but just least on the ranking. So in terms of what motivates our students to go to recruiting companies is job opportunities they are seeking. So really our tip with that feedback is be sure to have your opportunities loaded in Handshake before attending recruiting events. You can have those opportunities in Handshake, even link back to your career website, but that's really the research that they're doing before they come. And again, the main reason why they come to the career fairs. So another tip for connecting with companies of interest is to use our fall and spring resume books. I'm sure you all have come to learn and love our resume books that we distribute each semester. With those resume books, they are submitted through Handshake, vetted through our coaching team, and then available to you to make direct contact with those students. So when you do receive those resume books, that's an awesome opportunity to reach out to them directly. In terms of importance when students consider a full-time or internship, ranked number 1 is work, organization, role, interest, and meaningful work. So our tip is really just to highlight how their work benefits the organization. If it's interns with projects, making sure that they can see the trajectory of where it will land. Just doesn't go somewhere to not be picked out of the folder again, but they could understand how leadership will use the data or the research that they do to make improvements. And then of course, also ranked on that list is work-life balance. And something we all strive to have. So a tip may be consider a team member testimonial and have it on your social media platforms where students might be looking when they're looking to make these internship and full-time job decisions. Having some testimonials from current employees might be a nice way to give them a look into the day of a life. Any questions so far? Anything in the chat? Okay. On our next slide, we focus on the feedback from our MBA students. And again, these results, same, are reflected from highest responses to the lowest. And you can see here that our MBA students have indicated that both on-campus events and off-campus events are a preference. So in the chat, we have some ideas of some fun off-campus locations that you could go to if you wanted to host a happy hour or do something a little more interactive with this population of students. I think they would be interested in doing something like that. And then in terms of importance when considering a full-time job or internship, growth opportunity being number 1 for them. So something to think about if you have any alumni in your organization, maybe get them involved in the process for mentorship to highlight the potential trajectory within the organization. That would be a good way to show them how they may get new connections in the company as well. So these 2 slides that I just went over are just a snapshot of the feedback. And the email post this meeting, we will share the full results. So you're welcome to reach out to me with any questions, but it was a wonderful survey. We got a lot of great data from it. And in terms of reach out and what industries we should focus on. And it was really nice to have that solid participation because that doesn't always happen. On our next slide here, happy to showcase a few of our events for the fall recruiting season. As you can see here, some of these fairs are sold out and some are on their way to be sold out. So we are very excited for your strong in-person engagement this fall. On the left-hand side of the screen, we have our Careers in Business series. And then on the right-hand side, we have some new events that we're showcasing. For example, we have a first generation college in-person networking mixer, which we are partnering with our with Career Services Network. So we're excited to host that event in November. And then in December, we have a Broad Early Talent Mixer on December 5th and 7th. And this is an opportunity to connect with freshmen, sophomores, and first years that are in our Business 100 course. And then also on the right, highlighting some opportunities to connect with our MBA and other specialty master's programs, such as our business data analytics and then market research. And while some of these events are sold out, don't deter from coming to campus. Check out Handshake. Our Career Services Network partners have many events that would be wonderful for you to attend as well. On this next slide here, as many of you have already connected with Taylor and Penny to finalize your fall recruiting calendar, there's still time to connect with them. We have their information in the chat, also their industries. So reach out to them in the coming weeks to see if you can schedule a date for a table, if you wanted to set up a corporate presentation or some other events that might be of interest to you. I'm asking in the chat, thank you, Taylor, for mentioning the wait list. Yes, we do have an active wait list going for those sold out events. Thank you so much. And then, oh, sorry, Taylor Bates, if you could go back just one more time. At the bottom of the slide here, just a quick plug for our Sunday newsletter. You are able to rent ad space in this newsletter that reaches over 6,000 students, and it has an open rate of 35%, which is fantastic. We love that on Sunday evenings, our students are taking time to go through this newsletter and plan out their week, what companies they want to meet with, what events they might want to go to. So if you'd like to learn more about this newsletter, you can put your information in the chat and we'll be sure to follow up with you after today's meeting. As I mentioned before, our resume books, special shout out to our coaching team. I'm sure some of them are on the call today. We have about 7 resume books that we put out each fall that average about 50 students or more. And as I mentioned, all of these resumes are vetted by our dedicated coaching team. And the first round will be available to you on Friday, September 15th. And the resume books include everything from internship, full-time jobs, students in our multicultural business program, students in the residential business community. Also, we have a business preference. A few more. We also have our MBA STEM resume book, Master's in Accounting, and then the Master's in the Business Data Science Analytics. So lots of talent to go through and to connect with directly. If you wish to opt into our distribution list, this is the list we use to send out our resume books. You're welcome to put your name, company, and email in the chat, and we'll be sure to get you access to these in a few weeks. So based on a few past roundtable polls that we had, you all indicated an interest in learning more about DE&I recruiting practices, plus student organization information. So given that feedback, I invited a few of our directors around the college to join us today. You can see the list here. We have Lynn with our accounting department, Sherry Henry with RBC, Ed Tillett with MVP, Pat Horn with undergraduate student engagement. And then I have Eric and Chris. I have their slides. They were not available to join us today, but I will go over their slides on their behalf. So I'm happy to turn things over to Lynn if she is ready.
I am ready.
Lynn, thanks for being here.
Absolutely. Good afternoon, everyone. First, a big thank you to everyone who is participating today. I think there was over 100 people on the call. So just a huge thank you and for your interest in our students. We've got some good ones and we're so glad that you are here and want to connect with us and those students. So I am the Director of Academic Services in the Department of Accounting and Information Systems. And I just wanted to give a brief snapshot of our students. So in our undergraduate program at the junior and senior level, we have 318 students who are out there looking for internships and full-time job opportunities. Then we have our Master of Science in Accounting program, and we have 100 students. Also wanted you to know that our Master of Science in Accounting program is STEM certified, so that's added bonus for our international students, especially because that gives them some extra time to work with all of you with their occupational practical training. So a great benefit for those students. Then this fall, we're starting a new online master's program in accounting and data analytics. And actually, I even have a few more students. This is something that I've been working really hard on all summer, doing the admission and advising to these students. When I did this slide, it was 45. I think we're up to 48 even today. So I'm really excited about that. This is an interesting group of students. Some are directly out of undergrad, but I'd say the majority are more mature students. They're people coming back, making a career change. Some of those students have jobs, some do not, and they will be interested in interacting with all of you. But this is an online program, so they'll need to, they're all over the country. Actually, we also have a student in Japan, a student in China, so they're all over, and they will need to connect with you virtually. So they will be monitoring Handshake and looking for those opportunities to interact with all of the employers. We have a really active student organization in accounting called the Accounting Student Association. Then we also have a very active National Association of Black Accountants. So those student organizations have, they all do this differently. I know the National Association of Black Accountants meets every other week. The Accounting Student Association is a little less regular, but very, very active, and they're very event focused as opposed to a regular cadence of meetings. And then Christina asked us to share some resources and tips that we have. One of the things that I know you all are challenged with, and we are also very challenged with, it's communication, right? Getting students to pay attention, getting students to receive and pay attention to your messages. One of the things that we do is we have an accounting student email listserv. You can, send announcements, programs, things to me, and my email is listed in the slide, and I am happy to post those on our email listserv. We want you 100% to list everything in Handshake, but I view the listserv as a complimentary resource. So this is a way for us to give an extra push or, asterisk or exclamation point to those things that are already communicated through Handshake. Another tip that I have for anyone interested in our accounting students is to start early. Accounting always kicks off the recruitment season here at Michigan State and in the Broad College. So if you are interested in our students, they are really tuned into that early start. So it's important that employers also join in early in order to get that. To get involved with you. So please remember that and know that those accounting things start really early. Then just visibility is so important. Again, this goes back to that tip that I provided about communication and our struggle that we have in communicating and reaching our students. One of the important things is to, be visible and to do a variety of things, right? Be where they are. So attend all these events, participate in the fairs, schedule an information table with the Palmer Center. Any creative ideas, creativity rules the day. So anything that you can think of that's different, creative, that will put your name, your organization, your company on the map with our students, go for it. And please, I want to learn all of these creativity tips as well. So I watch everything that you're doing as well, and hoping that I can garnish some of those ideas for how to get in touch and communicate with our students. So again, my email is there in this slide. I'd love to talk with all of you. And again, a big thank you for your interest in our students.
Awesome. Thanks, Lynn. Well said. Appreciate you being here today. I know we'll add Lynn's information in the chat as well. And next, I'd like to turn it over to Sherry Henry with our residential business community. Hi, Sherry.
Hi, Christina. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak to this amazing group of people who I don't know if my program would be as good as it is without your partnerships. So thank you all of our community partners for making RBC an amazing experience for our students. For those of you who might not know what RBC is, it's the residential business community. It's within the Broad College of Business. We're going into our 17th year. Some people don't know how long we've been around, although we've not had the same name. We started out as the Broad Freshman Program. So some of the alums that might be on the call probably remember the Broad Freshman Program as well as the residential business community. But basically, we're a living, learning, leading community. Our new motto is Live, Learn, Lead, and we've got a cute little logo. So when you come to our events this year, you'll get to enjoy that with us. Our benefits for being in RBC really include support, growth, and networking. So we support students as they transition to Michigan State. We are primarily a first-year program, but we have formally expanded into a second-year program as well. So going into the fall 2023, we have 300 first-year students and about 250 second-year students in the program that you have access to with being a partner with us. So the support that we give as they live together and learn together in the classrooms, we have tutoring that some of you actually sponsor, so thank you for that. We help them grow intellectually as well as professionally, and a lot of you help us with that with your lunch and learns and networking breakfast and your visibility in our classrooms as well as in our success series. And of course, networking with you is key to the RBC experience. The employers engage with our students in the ways that are listed. All of them are available to our first and second year students, but primarily the first year students are engaged in most of the list. The last two items on the list are really the second year students' opportunities. Our first experience starts next week. So our students move in on Monday. And I have to tell you, there's this really cool vibe on campus right now. I think that we're ready for hopefully not wearing masks like in the picture and just really enjoying each other like we did back in 2019 before the pandemic and so forth. So there's just this really awesome vibe. And the students, we just finished NSO. We have our late NSO today and tomorrow. And I've got to tell you, this group of students come in with amazing experiences. So it feels like we're getting back to very, very competent, ready to learn, ready to engage community and students. So we're looking forward to introducing them to you. The first opportunity for that is this coming Wednesday. Some of you are going to participate with us for our welcome days, and I appreciate you. And then the second opportunity is September 5th. Many of you have signed up to participate in the RBC semester kickoff event, September 5th. And then another group of you have signed up for September 12th, our speed networking event. So thank you for that. Our September lunch and learns are full now, and we are signing up for the second half of October and November. So if you're interested in engaging with the lunch and learn or a networking breakfast, and you think that you'd be available October, November, we'd love to hear from you, or if you want to wait until the spring semester, January, February, we're happy to have those conversations with you as well. But thank you again for partnering with us and making the residential business experience one in which students can thrive not only in school, but out of school on their internships, and then as entry level and future employees of yours. Thank you.
Thanks, Sherry. Appreciate your time. And you are right. This next wave of students is so ready to engage and get involved and talk. They are ready for all of us and all of you. So that's an awesome point. Our next presenter, Ed Tillett with MVP. Ed, we are ready when you are.
All right, sounds good. You guys can hear me? We're good to go? Okay, cool. I always double check my microphone. That's an important thing to do, is to always do that. So yeah, as MVP, you know, it really kind of stands to say that we are a support and advocacy unit within the Broad College, especially around identity-based students and student organizations. And so as you kind of see our mantra at the top of that slide right there, it's really try to, how do we continue on with this tradition of building a legacy of leaders, of business leaders, of people that are impacting their community, that are impacting their organizations that they work at, et cetera. And so that's where we really kind of hang our hat on. You kind of see on the right side of that slide, some of the things that we do. So kind of to Sherry's point, you know, what do we do as MVP? That's where that lands. Of the 7 Broad registered student orgs, I saw in the chat, there was questions about NABA, the National Association of Black Accountants. That falls under our umbrella, but we work in tandem with the accounting department to make sure that they're getting all the support that they need. We also have multicultural business students, which is MBS, because you know we love our alphabet soup at MSU. We have the Broad International Student Council, or BISC. And then we have the Native American and Hispanic business students, so NOBS, as well as the Women in Business Student Association and Spartan Pride, which is our LBGT identified org, as well as our newest one, Black and Broad. And so we have those 7 orgs are identity based, and they're available to partner with, to collaborate with, whatever you may be looking to do. We're very open to making those connections. Sometimes they get filled up in the fall very quickly because so many people are chomping at the bit to get in front of them. So if there's ways that we can kind of collaborate or collapse and put 2 to 3 maybe together, sometimes that works out well. So if you're willing to partner and play nice with somebody in the sandbox, we can do that. We do offer tutoring, as well as our Summer Business Institute is our bridge program, which we just completed. It's 58 students, and we are looking to expand that. But what that is we help students transition into college, into their first year. So they feel like a second year in their very first year. And there's employer engagement opportunities there to present, to connect, to do things as well. The entrepreneurship camp is high school focused. So what that is rising kind of juniors and seniors in high school that are looking at entrepreneurship opportunities. So if that fits your organization and you're looking for some sponsorship or some connections for case study or judges or whatever that may be, the entrepreneurship camp is another place to connect. And we pulled students from all over. We had a student from Ohio this year. Mostly we're Michigan based, but we did have some out of state. So that was kind of fun to see something new. In addition to that, we've just added a few new things. College Days, where we bring students to come in and experience college for a day from various communities and community organizations. We have the Grand Rapids Urban League up here. And we're looking at an organization out of Detroit to bring their students to our campus, just to show them what business is like. And so if there's an opportunity where you may want to get in front of some high school students, you know, my philosophy is who does it better, and when it comes to recruiting, and that's athletics and you all in corporate. You know, when you have a kid that's, you know, in 5th and 6th grade and there's colleges that are reaching out to connect with them, my philosophy is that we should be doing that as a university as well. So we are looking at how do we bring those students to campus, give them that experience, and then that's a good opportunity for you to get in front of them at a very young age to just get some brand recognition, to be completely honest. We've also added business teams, which is helping the MSU athletic department with their NIL pursuits. So if anybody's interested in NIL pursuits and they're looking at supporting some of the things that we're doing there, it's an experiential learning opportunity. And so that's something that brand new just this year since the creation of this slide. So there's stuff that we're constantly iterating and creating. But we're really looking at how do we provide opportunities for students to put themselves out there, to be engaged, as well as come visit you all, so are there treks that we can do? And maybe once again, we can put 2 or 3 together that may be in a city or a certain location, who are interested in hosting some students. And we know that with kind of COVID and hybrid, sometimes that's a challenge, but maybe there's, visiting a location that you may have that would still be beneficial, whether it's a retail spot or somewhere else. So MVP, we're doing a lot. Happy to connect, happy to kind of put ourselves out there to connect with our students. So I'm sure my email and my contact is there. So feel free to reach out, connect on LinkedIn. I'm always open to a chat or a conversation. I'm digging my way out of email dungeon right now because I was out for a little bit. So if it takes just a little bit, bear with me, charge it to my heart and charge it to my head and not my heart. I really do want to connect with you, but like I said, I'm digging out of a hole right now. So I appreciate being able to tell you about this and look forward to connect with you more.
Awesome, thank you. And you're right, you can never build your brand enough. So thanks for sharing those additional resources. And I'm sure many on the call will take advantage of your invite. So thank you.
Yeah.
For our next presenter, please help me welcome Ken Horn, Director of Undergraduate Student Engagement. Hi, Ken.
Good afternoon, everybody. Christina and team, thanks for inviting me, and to everyone else, it's great to be connected with you all in this virtual space. I am Ken Horn, the Director for Undergraduate Student Engagement for the Broad College of Business. And this is actually one of the newer initiatives from within the Broad College of Business. And we just wrapped up year 2 of our experience. And for me, the big thing is how do we work with our student organizations to create some intentional, purposeful, and meaningful and transformative experiences. So I look at things such as bro traditions, ways that our student leaders can continue to grow and develop, build central skills, make sure that they are able to demonstrate those skills, et cetera. And really this program is in alignment with students' ability to demonstrate career readiness competencies. So when we talk about skills development, a lot of that is just based on those skills and the experiences that we have aligned with that. So for me, my primary goal and objective is definitely to provide multiple hands-on learning opportunities. And with 44 undergraduate student organizations in the Broad College of Business, I can assure you those 44 organizations are taking me in 1,000 different directions. But it's really a matter of how do we make sure that the experience is purposeful for them. So if we have student organizations who want opportunities, how do we get them connected to opportunities that align with the vision and values and mission that they have with each of those organizations? And luckily, I don't do this alone. A number of folks on the call have heard me refer to myself as a serial collaborator. And so for me, there's no big idea, there's no small idea. We can definitely do it all and try to squeeze that in. We're looking to pull together resources that allow students to develop somewhat of a second resume. Again, looking at what are the experiences and how those translate to skills development. And I look at skills from an exposure perspective, what things transition from exposure to integration, and then which of those things become a more transformative experience for our students. And so when they participate in different opportunities, such as internships, study abroad, working on campus, serving as leaders of student organizations and things of that nature, we want to make sure that we're documenting that. And that's not only helpful for the Broad College of Business, but that's also in alignment with the larger university as well. And so this goes with our Spartan Experience Record Initiative at Michigan State University. And then how will employers find engagement success? You know, I look at it as a talent pipeline in two different directions. So we can definitely collaborate together to create pathways for students to get connected to internship opportunities. We can also work with employers to get students connected to full-time employment experiences. And, you know, we do have the ability to have employers sponsor different badges within our platform. So we use Bro 360 to kind of house everything. And, you know, we piloted this past year working with MSU FCU. So thank you if we have MSU FCU reps on the call. But we really focused on students who are working to develop their financial literacy skills. And so there's definitely some opportunities for other employers to say, we're looking at this potential skills development. We're looking at a cohort of students to be connected to this training opportunity, this experience, this internship, this full-time job. And we can definitely curate an opportunity for, you know, certain students and get them connected to that. And additionally, in addition to students getting those badges, they can translate those things to LinkedIn to show how their experiences are directly correlated to skills development. And so I think that that engagement before hiring is something that a number of folks find appealing. So if there's anything that I can do to help you out with that, if there's anyone who is looking for opportunities to connect with our student leaders, be it in a particular organization, a particular major, students who have particular skills or career interests, definitely let me know, and I'm happy to curate a cohesive learning experience for those folks and get connected in that way. So thank you.
Great, Ken, thank you so much. You really are the king of collaboration. So anyone out there looking to try new things with our student orgs, like Ken said, all 40 plus of them, he is a great connection to get things done through. So we appreciate
Thanks, Christina. I appreciate that. Couldn't do it by myself.
Thank you. So please note for our next two slides, Eric with marketing and Chris with supply chain, they are offsite engaging with employers today, so they could not be here. But here are their slides, and on their behalf, starting with marketing on behalf of Eric Dorr, he is the Director of Student and Corporate Engagement, and he's highlighted for you many ways you can particularly support our marketing student population. From guest speakers at a student org or classroom time. I know we often get questions about how can I get in the classroom? So reach out to Eric for a specific marketing student interaction, and he can help you. He also noted that they have 281 seniors this fall, so a lot of talent to connect with soon and often. We do have booths left at our marketing fair, and then also our all majors fair in person and virtual. So be sure to take a look at that. And then on our next slide, Chris leads our corporate and student relations for the supply chain department. As many of you know, our supply chain program is #1 in the nation for over a decade now. And he's listed here a few ways to get in front of those students. If it's joining the Supply Chain Management Council to receive priority engagement access, or joining some of the SCMA membership meetings. SCMA is the largest student organization at MSU. They also are responsible, the student org is, for putting on the spring supply chain career fair. I know they have dates and details coming soon. There are still spots at our fall supply chain fair, but the one in the spring is also another wonderful opportunity for you. Chris also notes here, always welcome to host students for a trek. They love coming on site, meeting your team, meeting leadership, meeting alumni, and having that experience. They love getting off campus, so definitely would be open to any opportunities you might have there today. I know Eric and Chris's information is in the chat, so you're welcome to reach out to them directly as well. Any questions before we get into polls? Any questions for our wonderful speakers we had or the content so far? Feel free to unmute or put it in the chat. No, don't be shy. All right, well, we can look to move on to our polls. The first is regarding landscape for this fall and your anticipated engagement. So thank you for kicking off this poll, Taylor Bates. And also, if you have comments on this question, you're welcome to put those in the chat as well. It seems everyone is no restrictions, will recruit as usual, but open to receiving this feedback.
And Christina, I'll give it about 10 more seconds before
Okay.
we share these results.
Okay, thanks for locking those in, everyone. Okay, so results 75%, no restrictions, will recruit as usual. That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing. About 9% unsure of the recruiting plans for fall. Totally understand. Perhaps feel free to reach out to us for a strategic connect with Penny or Taylor. They could talk you through some of that. 34% for sure want to interact in more in-person events, and about 23% want to see some smaller events. So I think between our larger careers and business series and some of the opportunities that Sherry and Ed and company had talked about, and Lynn, there's definitely some more opportunities for some one-on-one student time in those areas as well. On to the next poll here. Oops, sorry. Oh, the poll went. Okay, so this is based on your internship hiring plans. Has anything changed since any potential economy changes or potential recession? Have any of you experienced any changes for future internship hiring plans?
About 10 more seconds.
Okay, thank you. Okay. And no results. Well, I'm so happy to see 0 and a hiring freeze. Yay for all of you. That's fantastic. 17% we're not going to hire as many as originally as anticipated. Thanks for sharing. And 83% no concerns. We're good to go. Hiring as usual. Awesome feedback. Thank you for sharing that. And then with our next poll here, same question, but on a full-time basis.
We'll give this about 5 seconds.
Okay, pretty similar results. 0 for a hiring freeze. That's great. 22 not going to hire, 22% not going to hire as many as originally anticipated, and then 78 no concerns, offering as usual. That is wonderful. Ahead of all of our amazing on-site recruiting opportunities and virtual recruiting opportunities. So glad to hear that you all are ready to interact as best you can. That's great. So our last poll here, of course, a hot topic, chat GPT, artificial intelligence. Just wondering if and how your organization might utilize this in your talent acquisition strategy. Please select all that apply, whether you do not utilize or some of the options listed below. Also interested into learning if the ways you use AI is not listed, you're welcome to put it in the chat and would be open to conversation about that.
About 5 more seconds.
Okay, about 78% know that they do not use, 13% to support in crafting job descriptions, 17% for outreach messages, and then about 2% to scan cover letters and or resumes. Okay, thanks for sharing. I don't see any other ways in the chat. Any comments about that particular question? It is all very interesting. Change is happening fast. Okay, well, before we wrap up, just certainly want to open the floor to any comments, questions, or clarification. Taylor, you can go to the next slide. Also, if there's any comments on how we can better support you, if there's any different experiences you'd like to see Palmer host, if you've been to other universities or recruiting events and thought something was really cool and effective and you think it might work well here at MSU, would love to talk that through with you. Again, you're welcome to unmute yourself, put it in the chat, or I think Taylor is going to put my email in the chat. You're welcome to reach out to me directly and we can certainly have a conversation. Anyone?
Yeah, Christina, I have a question. Earlier in the deck, there were some events that was currently sold out, and you stated the students can go on a wait list. How far in advance will the students be notified if they are available to attend?
Sure. Well, thank you for asking that very important question. I will be clear, there is no wait list for students. That is an employer sign-up wait list. So meaning our booths at that space are just full of employers, but no, all students are always welcome. We would never turn away a student. We opened up the events for them on July 1, and we've probably seen around 100 students, maybe for each of those fairs that have pre-registered. So it'll only be more when they come back in a couple weeks. Thank you for clarifying.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
We have some questions in the chat, Christina. Well, there's a question, is there a contact outside the Broad College for general careers and health care for undergrads? And so I would recommend Karen Hansen for that. And so I can put her information in the chat. Same with merchandising, which is another question. And then Paloma has a question about the offer deadline for this fall.
Excuse me. And I know that Mary's on the call. I don't know if Mary with CSN. I don't know if Karen was able to jump on, but Mary, if you wanted to comment on anything, you're welcome to.
Yeah, no, great. Karen's great. I'm great. Any of us are happy to help. So whatever works.
And Taylor, if you want to put a link to our offer deadlines in the chat, since one of the questions was about the offer deadlines, that'd be great.
I'm sorry, Marla, I misunderstood you. Thank you. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay.
There's a question about associations affiliated with sales students, and that's the Sales Leadership Organization. And so also maybe someone can put that in the chat as well. I'm putting in Karen's information.
And then we also have a sales leadership career fair. So post this meeting, we can put in links to that career fair as well. Okay. What other questions? Oh, thanks, Marla. And then Broad student email list. We don't have a Broad student email list that we can share, but you will gather quite a few emails from the resume books that we send out. And then if you're looking to connect with a specific Broad student org, we can send that list out as well.
There's also a question about timing. What is the best time to host interviews in the fall for recruiting for finance internships? We found that we typically host interviews pretty early and would love to learn a best practice on timing. And that's from Ashley. Does someone want to take that, or I can? That's up to you.
Go ahead, Marla.
Okay. So Ashley, I think that it's best, that's kind of a nuanced question, and it'd be great for you to meet with your recruiting manager, because the recruiting manager can best guide you based on what other companies within your industry are doing. Generally, interviewing takes place for most of our students in general. I'm going to say sometime between later in September and through November, let's say, or mid-November, if we're talking about first round and into second round. But certainly I think that it is a nuanced question, and that our recruiting managers are just fantastic resources, and can meet with you and best to pick out some timing that works best for you, and what works best in terms of what others in your industry, specific industry, your competitors are doing. I hope it's a little bit of a squishy answer, but it really, we would want to work through that with you and help you make the best decision possible.
Thanks, Marla. Okay. Well, you all have our contact information. If anything else comes up, we're happy to connect with you in the coming weeks before we officially welcome back our students, and of course thereafter. But that does it for today. Thank you for your time and energy, and thank you to our speakers for joining us and educating us on the resources. And as many have said today, we could not do what we do without you. So thank you so much for supporting our students and being wonderful resources and mentors for them. We're really excited to kick off most things in person this fall, and excited to do it alongside of you. We have our Palmer email listed in the chat if you have any general questions. But otherwise, we'll host another roundtable in November, and we'll see most of you in a few weeks. Go green. Thank you. Hey, Jasmine.